Hey guys, welcome back to Backroad Hobbies. This video, we are hitting another furniture refurb. So let's briefly go over what is wanted to be done on here and what's needed to be done on here. Going to interrupt their video just real quick like. Now, help us get to 1,000 subscribers, and I will be giving away this big old slab of honey locusts, and it'll be turned into a big old cutting board, and it'll be dressed up, cleaned up a lot better than what it is now. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. I'll be giving this away, and I'll be making a video and everything about it all, and be giving it to one of you guys. 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're not too far from it, so be sure to go to YouTube and subscribe there, and we will hopefully be able to give away this board to one of you guys. So be sure to subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the merch link. It'll be down in the description or in the bio. Either way, we are selling shirts. This is what's on the back. I'll be trying to come up with other shirts as well. Be able to get a lineup of them going for you guys. Hats. Touch on these hats a little bit. These are Richardson hats, style 112. I chose these hats because they're just a lot more comfortable for me, and with a bigger head and everything, and besides, it has plenty of breathing room. That way my hot head can breathe. And koozies. And on the off chance you catch me out in public while magnet fishing or doing some while I'm filming, I'll be giving these away. This one's a little dirty, but I'll be giving these bottle koozies away to select few while I still have a supply of these. So yeah, be sure to check it out. It will be the Simply You merch link. Be sure to check their website out as well. Let's go ahead and get back to normal programming. So as you can see, this was broken off, and it had broken off during a move. One of the more recent moves that she had done. And so I am going to just completely reconstruct this, because this is a red cedar chest. And I, of course, have plenty of red cedar. So I am going to go ahead and just reconstruct this to the best of my abilities to get as close as I can on this. I want to do a little bit of file work on here because I don't have this type of router bit. This should be about right with my 2-inch material that I have. So it shouldn't be that bad, that hard to fix. Now, the other thing that was wanted to be done was the lid. To be flipped over like this. And then the top will in turn be turned into a sort of a bed for her little doggo that she's got. So I'm going to do what I can to spiffy this up. You can tell there's some separation here and a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be taken care of. I'm going to do what I can to get this back up to where it needs to be. There's going to be a lot of work on this, and I'm probably going to end up having to pull these ends off, reset them, clean out all these gaps that you see, and glue what I can, put glue where I can, and re-clamp it. And what I'm also going to do is go ahead and fill all these little screw hole marks and get that taken care of as well, both on the box and on the lid. Just the general gist of all of what I plan on doing for now. I of course plan on refinishing it, sanding it down, refinishing it, making it look all spazzy again. So let's get on to working on that leg. Now that the leg is completed, I'm going to be moving on to the top here, the lid. I'm going to go ahead and work the other side. The other side's a lot worse. I'll show you here in a minute. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is run my skill saw down this seam and get all this stuff, all these cracks and everything cleaned up and squared off, and get all this stuff cleaned out and all this filler. And you see more here. You see this end's a lot worse, so I'm going to go ahead and just run the miter saw down here. I have enough width to be able to do that, to take about 1/8 of an inch off. And I'm going to run the miter saw, not the miter saw, the skill saw all the way down to the point, finish it up with the hand saw. And I'm probably going to have to do something, somehow or other, cut this miter a little bit. Cut this miter so I can get it off. Now the issue being is the brads that they used, and that's going to be a little bit difficult with the handsaw, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that quite yet. It may just simply pull off at that point. I don't know yet, but we're going to see how that comes off. This is going to be the goal this evening, to get this glued up and reset to where we can get it all put back together and looking a lot better. And this spacing, all these gaps and everything, was caused, I do believe, by the lack of coating on the inside. Now, what I have learned over the years is to always coat both sides of your project with whatever finish you have, to help prevent all this cracking and everything, because you can see it's pretty bad in some spots. So that's why I do what I do with getting at least one coat on everything to help prevent this. The same thing happened here. It wasn't coated on the inside, and I haven't had any issues whatsoever with that method. So I want to go ahead and get this thing torn apart and get this all clamped back together, because I'm hoping to be able to polyurethane this thing this weekend. So these are as prepped as they're going to get until they are ready to be put on there. So now, moving on to filling in gaps there. Okay, let's see if this thing decides to pop apart on me. Oh, I'm hearing cracking. It didn't pop apart, so that's a plus. At least that half. Nice. Okay. It appears that it held together, so that's a plus. Okay, so now I gotta try to true all this up, true these edges up, and get it sides down so I can get all my edge trim pieces put to get back together. Yeah, I had a little goof up somewhere whenever I was squaring this all up. So I had to trim this much off the other side to make this thing freaking square again to the box. So I just scooped it in, and since I don't have any clamps long enough, I'm using screws as clamps here because it's just because of that piece and everything. So what I'm going to do whenever I come back is just I'm going to pull these out and then chase them with dowels in each hole just to plug them up, and they'll still be just as strong and everything. And I did decide to go ahead and completely strip this down, but completely refinish it. I mean, we're not gonna keep any of the original finish. The gal and I had talked about it just last night. To make it look right, we're going to go ahead and completely strip it down and completely start new with the varnish and everything. So we're going to be going completely with the clear coat polyurethane. We're going to let glue cure and everything. We'll have to get sanding pads because I'm out. I'm pretty much out. So I'm going to have to, I don't have enough to do this project right now. So we're going to have to wait. And hopefully weather holds out for me and here in a couple weeks so I can go ahead and get this thing finished. So yeah. Next stop is getting this thing completely stripped down. I'm going to be trying a new type of sandpaper that I've never tried before. So it actually comes with this is the Diablos. And it comes with a little pad. I actually had to glue the other one on because my pad this kept on coming off. It's just a freaking Harbor Freight Bower. So I had to glue this pad on because the soft pad is so worn out on the loops that this would not stay on. So we're gonna see how this fares. Things just keep on hitting me left and freaking right on not wanting to freaking work for this project. So I gotta keep pushing through as much as this thing is fighting me. I'm hoping that this will last longer because the last batches I kept on getting would just freaking, I'd go through them like crazy. So we're gonna try it. It's not sand net, so we'll see how this works. Let's get to sanding. So, I just realized I screwed up. This is the wrong side. Because this is the soft side. The soft side has to be up against there. I've had these backwards. So, it ain't gonna be tonight. Now I gotta freaking pull this thing off, and luckily I got a second package there, and it has one in there. So, there goes tonight. So, this is not the next day. What I did was I had some Velcro and I just used the loop and I just layered it on there. So I'm going to send the short I just made of me doing this. I'll tag it in here. So give me a few minutes to show you how I did it. So I found myself in a predicament. I want to try to get myself out of this predicament. And well, I'll just show you. The pad on my sander was just shot. No, it wasn't this bad. I just freaking sanded it down and just freaking got all the loop off of this. So this is just a Bower from Harbor Freight. So what I'm going to try to do, since I got all this, some of it off, I have some of this loop Velcro. I'm going to try to get on here and see how well it might work. Because I have this to sand and that whole box over there to sand. And I ain't got no money to replace this. So I got to do what I got to do. Cutting out these holes is kind of a bear. So it's getting there. But I think this is actually kind of sticking pretty good. I mean, it seems to be doing what it needs to do. So I might be able to get away with this. Now it's on. I just got to trim off the excess here. Alright, the excess is trimmed off. Here's the pad. I gotta set this pad up right. And you gotta give me a second. So that seems to work fairly well. I gotta get this on. So let's see if this works. Holy freaking crap. Okay, I have my reservations of this not working. So now, you see how I got put together, so it actually freaking holds, guys. So, we're going to do the durability test of this and see how well it actually freaking works. So, yeah, let's get to it. Now, after hours and hours and hours and hours of sanding, the cedar chest is finally sanded. And now it is no longer out here in the shop. Because of the temperatures, we've decided to go ahead and move it on inside so that the polyurethane can go ahead and set up and cure properly down into the basement. So let's go ahead and get on in there. Oh, crap. Oh, I knew I should have done that. Ah, that coming. Oh, what I did that. No. That coming. Oh. So we made it back downstairs to be able to get this thing coated up. And we are ready to start rolling. I am excited about this stage because it is, it's been long awaited. So let's jump straight to it. It is finally finished and we're getting ready for delivery. So let me show you it completed. Now I've been fighting the polyurethane real bad and wound up with a matte finish somehow with it. And yes, I know this would technically speaking be the bottom of the lid, but this is the way she requested it. So got the hinges on there, and for the sake of it, I went ahead and threw on some velvet along here so that if later on down the road she decides to flip this lid, this edge here is not damaging the finish here. So I did my normal coating on both sides of this. We're gonna get ahead and get this thing loaded up and moved on down the road and get it delivered. So we'll probably end up recording the video, recording delivery. So, toodles. After we delivered the cedar chest to her, she really liked it and everything, and I just managed not to do the video of her reaction and everything and how much she liked it and whatnot, but that was on me. It is what it is. I mean, just negligence of it and not really thinking much about it. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to check out all of the socials. They'll be linked down in the description. Be sure to go check out merch, and it'll be linked down below as well. And help us out on different stuff like this, because I'm sure I could have used the money on this project to be able to get some kind of strip to get this off, because that would have made this thing so much easier. Be sure to get yourself something off the merch link. And be sure to check out everything, all the socials down in the description. We're doing up the video verse, and we are in John chapter 8, and we are doing verses 39 through 47. It says, "Our father is Abraham," they replied. "If you were Abraham's children," Jesus told them, "you would do what Abraham did. But now you are trying to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. Abraham did not do this. You're doing what your father does." "We weren't born of sexual immorality," they said. "We have one Father, God." Jesus said to them, "If God were your Father, you would love me, because I came from God and I am here. For I didn't come on my own, but He sent me. Why don't you understand what I say? Because you cannot listen to my word. You are of your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he tells a lie, he speaks from his own nature, because he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet, because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Who among you can convict me of sin? If I am telling the truth, why don't you believe me? The one who is from God listens to God's words. This is why you don't listen, because you are not from God." And that is John chapter 8, verses 39 through 47. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope to see y'all in the next one.